Hello everyone. If you're watching this video, then you know I'm Lazy Larry. And I've had people ask me why the name Lazy Larry and how did I come up with it. Well, we're going to answer the second part first. It all goes back to my junior year in high school. It was the last year of the school. They were closing down my school, which was Gershmar Technical High School, Garfield, at Wiley, and Honey Creek. Now, Honey Creek was only 10 years old, so they were going to take it and make it into a junior high because the Honey Creek Junior High School was quite old as well, so they were going to tear it down along with Wiley, Garfield, and Gershmar. So they were going to combine the four schools and make two. Wiley and Honey Creek became Terre Haute South Vigo High School. Garfield and Gershmar became Terre Haute North Vigo High School. Now, in your senior year, you're required to take government and econ. They're both only one semester long, but they are required by state law to graduate. At least they were back then. So I signed up for my courses. I put down a class that they said they were going to offer, which was auto body repair. And I thought that might be fun to learn how to repair the body, use the body putty, bang out the dents, paint. That sounded interesting to me. Might be fun. I wasn't sure, but take a year of it. And if I don't like it, I'd never have to do it again. And so, in their infinite wisdom, the school system either didn't have enough students to offer the class or ran out of money and decided they couldn't afford to offer the class. And because I was going to be a senior, the school board decided, hey, he's interested in auto body, he's got to be interested in auto mechanics. And they couldn't be farther from the truth. I have never had a desire to work on a motor in my life. I've done it, but it's never been because I wanted to, it was because of necessity. And that was later in life. So they put me in an automotive class, and I was going to drop that class, and because I didn't need it to graduate. And I went to school and realized I didn't like the school. I mean, we only had a half-hour lunch hour. We couldn't go anywhere. We had to stay on campus. They acted like a bunch of dictators and treated us like we were back in junior high, and I just did not like it. So Wiley's old principal was our senior boy counselor, his name was Mr. Prophet. Now, I'd never met Mr. Prophet before this day, and he'd never seen me. So I go walking in his office because I decided that's it. I've had enough of this school. I'm either going to graduate in January or quit that day, and that's what I told him. He goes, okay, who are you and what's your name? I said, well, my name's Larry Lee. And he said, okay, Larry, let me get your records. And he got my records and looked at them. I had a government class already. I needed an econ class to graduate in January. So he looks at my record and says, well, you got everything you need. You got enough credits by the end of the semester to graduate, but you got to have an econ class. He says, our econ classes are overbooked for this semester. He says, but I got to pull some students out anyway, and I'll pull out one more to get you into class so you have a shot at graduating in January. And I said, that's all I asked for. So I was going to drop the automotive. I really didn't have any interest in that. That would have meant I would have had to take a second study hall, which I really wasn't crazy about because I don't like study halls. And somehow my math teacher, Mr. Feast, found out that I was going to graduate in January. And Mr. Feast said, Larry, he said, if you have to drop a class, you might as well drop this one. He said, you've already taken algebra, trigonometry, and geometry. And the first semester of mathematical analysis is all we do is go back over everything you've already learned. So you're not going to learn anything new. The second half is where we really get into new stuff. The second semester. And so I thought about it, and I said, all right, Mr. Feast, I'll drop this class. And so I dropped that class, and true to his word, Mr. Prophet got me into an econ class. And I was thinking about dropping the automotive anyway because it was more credits. I still had enough credits without it to graduate in January. Like I said, I didn't like study halls, so I took a lot of classes. They made me take one study hall. So I decided to go ahead and keep the automotive class. And I didn't have a car. My dad had a brand new car. Everybody I knew in my family had really good cars. They didn't need me to go in there and tear them down and run their cars. So I never took any work in. Now in the classroom, I did well on the test. I got B's and C's, and but as far as out in the shop, I never took any work in. So if somebody needed help, like holding something in while they're bolting it in, or helping bolt something in, or whatever help they needed help, our shop teacher, Mr. Hilton, would tell the student, "Go get Lazy Larry. He doesn't have anything to do. He can help you." And he every time if somebody needed help, go get Lazy Larry. Where's Lazy Larry? It became his mantra. Lazy Larry can help you out, which I did. I had no problem with that. Like I said, I didn't bring my own in, so some of the guys I helped for a week or two at a time. Some of the guys just once or twice, and one of the guys I helped at the end of the semester because he had to get his motor together before we left. So like I said, I helped out. I didn't mind doing that, but I wasn't bringing any work in. So that's how I got the name Lazy Larry. And now you want to know why I started using it? That's very simple. I blame Chris and Sabu. All right, I started following vloggers. I was working a job that I had free time on my hands. I had to wait on people to come see me, and I could get away with watching YouTube. So I started following, I think the first one was Thailand Rob, 20 Seconds in Thailand, something like that. And then I found Rike, Life Beyond the Sea. He was in the Philippines. And then it was Kevin, Thailand. What is it? Amazing Thailand. My Filipino Dreams, stuff like that. Bud Brown. And I found Chris and Sabu. I eventually dropped all the people I was following out of Thailand. I decided I did want to go visit the place, so why watch about it? And I started watching Chris, and I went back and watched all of his videos and caught up. And I caught some when he was still living in a small studio with his wife and daughter, and him and his daughter would do some cooking videos, and snack tasting videos. And then he decided to start doing more live streams. I wasn't too sure how I was going to like live streams. I'd never watched a live stream. I found it interesting. He'd walk around and show you different places. Now, most of the time it was in the same area. Sometimes he'd get off a beaten path and go somewhere else, but he had to go where he could get data reception to do the live stream, because if he didn't have reception, it wasn't going to work. And I really enjoyed the live streams. And I was going by my real name then, which is Larry Lee. But there was a Larry B, a Larry G, a Larry Outdoors, or something like that. Might have been another Larry. But there was at least 4 Larrys. And like I said, myself, Larry Lee, Larry B, and Larry G sound very similar. So you may not notice the subtle difference in our names. And so I thought I had to do something so if he was addressing me, I would know. So I went back to my old high school, senior year high school nickname, Lazy Larry. I thought it's unique, it'll stand out. If he says lazy, I got it. I mean, and And so I started using Lazy Larry, and some people seem to like it. Uh, and so, if you like the name Lazy Larry, you can blame or actually give credit to Chris and Sabu for making me come up with the name and reusing it. And if you don't, blame Chris and Sabu because I felt like I had to change my name just so I'd stand out a little bit more. So now you know why I use the name Lazy Larry, and now you know how I came up with the name Lazy Larry. I mean, I didn't just pull it out of my hat. I had a high school instructor in auto shop named Mr. Hilton who came up with it because I don't know, maybe he thought he was going to motivate me to do more on my own. But I was working about 30 hours a week after school and on the weekends, maybe more when you add it all together. Anywhere from 24 to 36 hours every week my senior year. So I didn't care if he called me lazy or not. I did what I thought I had to do. I graduated like I wanted to do. I always wanted to graduate from high school. I always wanted to go into the service, and I did that as well. So now you know. I want to wish you all well. And take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus, try to have fun. Bye.